responsibility that I don't even think that you've realized.
Do you know how to do your own laundry?
No.
Do you know anything about credit?
Not really.
Do you know how to iron? What?
Kylie.
Mom?
No, seriously.
Doesn't know how to do her own laundry. I guess she doesn't have to. Right? Well, that is a look at the Kardashians, which undoubtedly has had a huge effect on pop culture, whether you like it or not. But the reality family has also had a negative effect on our overall personality, according to a new study. Dr. Patrick Scott joining us now with a very insightful look at the effects of reality show. They actually did a fancy study on the Kardashians.
Study. And as if we need more studies to prove what we already know. This culture of materialism, this culture of the 1%, and we are so enamored of celebrity. You guys do it really well here, and I get starstruck. The study actually pointed out that people who spend even 1 minute watching, in particular the Kardashians, somehow lose their ability to feel compassion for the poor, and they lose some of their humanity.
Wow.
Which is really interesting. Now, the Kardashians were the show they talked about, but we have this in our face all the time. And the implication is for our children and proving that what's really important. The Buddhists call it animality. When we get into that cat fight, that dog eat dog, that the only thing that's important is money and how you look and the selfie generation and all that stuff, reduces our overall compassion if we're exposed to too much of it.
Well, you can see some of the most popular shows out there. I mean, I'm guilty of watching them too, like
Me too.
the Bravo Housewives. A lot of it's very petty fighting with adult women and how the fancy houses, and it does seem like the level of depth is very small.
And we like it. It gets petty. We sort of get to act out some of our petty differences. The idea is to seek balance by looking at things that are also altruistic. So the balance is materialism versus altruism. You know, I love, watching animal stories and human nature stories and all that kind of stuff. I love to cry at movies, that sort of thing. And so the important thing is that if we teach our children that the only thing that is important is the type of outfit you wear and the kind of material you have. And basically, face it, most of us are not in the 1%. We're not ever going to be in the 1%.
And also, too, it's like, you don't want to say don't watch TV at all because kids aren't going to do that, and even adults don't. But like, I think CBS Sunday Morning, for example, they have these like moments of nature, or they have Steve Hartman's like everyone has a story, and they find some, an ordinary person doing extraordinary things.
Yes.
Maybe you can watch a little reality, but then balance it with something.
Well, and we are overwhelmed with choices, and so it's just a matter of seeking balance and finding the middle way, so that you have something. But exposed only to that culture of materialism is proven in this particular study to reduce our overall level of compassion, which I find interesting.
And kids nowadays are so accessible to the celebrities through social media and Instagram. They sometimes aspire to that or might subscribe their values to that, right?
Well, and they have to have the right clothes and the right shoes, and they have to look the certain way, and they have to emulate. And we've been talking about the culture, particularly of female models, for years, about slim and thin and all that stuff. This just adds to it to say if all, particularly our developing minds, think is important is how you look and what you wear and the brand of purse you have and the type of glasses and all that stuff. The interesting thing for me was that it actually quantified a reduction in our ability to feel compassion for the poor, compassion for our fellow man.
Wow.
We get into this sort of animality, this sort of dog eat dog sort of thing too.
I wonder if the Kardashians have seen that.